Yes, no, it's great. It's great to understand. It is because it's like being is not doing. However, what we've got here is we've got a place to help people to be. So if we've got a place to help people to be, it's like how do we help people to be? And really, because the doing is just holding out hands to reach out. That's the doing. That's the doing. As simple as that. It's like, right, do you want to come tell your story? Do you want to come tell? That's it. That's all that we're doing. And the thing is, and it is as simple. It is as simple as that. And as people do that, as people do that in order to be, that's when there's a new lot of information that's going to start coming through. That's when people are going to start waking up to the truth of who they are. Where they're going to start thinking, hold on a minute, how am I meant to be? And it's only when more people come through and they have conversations that they start discovering who they are as a passionate human being, that being. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I see it more like a scale of like you have doing in the one end and being in the other end,
yeah,
and like have been very, very much doing, and forgotten about the being, and it's more like lining more out
yeah,
again
yeah,
being,
yeah,
so there's more balance, so
yeah,
it's more like it has tipped more to the,
absolutely, absolutely.
because
Perfect.
you can't really get around, you have to do some things too sometimes, but it have to be like aligned with the being.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because do you know what?
Yeah,
When we think about it as we're talking now, because we've got the doing and the being and we're making that transition, sometimes we want to look at the being in its fullness. And it's like, do you know what? We can't see it in its fullness. It's a gradual.
hmm.
So it's kind of like what is being?
Hmm.
Being's massive. And its being is, like you said, being able to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want, however you want to do it. That's just,
Yeah,
but it's like, okay, we have to, that's the extreme.
yeah,
Kind of like we have to try and tip into that space, that place of being and play around with it and feel it and get a sense of it. And I think we can only, that's our dreams. We're just tasting it. We're just here. We're just tasting it with visualizations or meditation. We're wanting to move closer so we can touch it and be part of it. And
yeah,
it's bringing that together, but also as well, not getting overwhelmed with all the doing and what that's meant to us,
yeah,
because doing has been, I've got to pay the bills and I've got to do, it's like that density. So we're trying to move towards, okay, so what if I could, and that's where the creation comes in. So we are going to do an infinity healing, and I think I can feel what it is. I don't want to talk about it too much until I get the paperwork. Like, where is it? But I can really feel it. I felt it this week quite a lot when I pulled out the bundles and when I did the broadcast as well as an update. And I was thinking, I'm just not feeling, I'm missing something. And I know what it is. It's just be patient. It's just like, I want it all now. But it's just patience. So let's have a see. And the exciting news is in between as well is that the game has gone over to America. So the spiritual community are going to be, well, the spiritual community, Andy and Sonia are going to be looking over it and getting a feel of it and hopefully helping us to expand. So by the time we get to when we get to the retreat, it means that you'll have experienced it. And so you'll be quite able to be able to facilitate using that. But it really is, the book is the manual for the game. It really, really is. So it gives confidence to be able to facilitate the game. So we've got two angles come out potentially at some point. But my goal is really that if anybody's interested in the game, that they come on board to share their story because it's only right to. So, Catherine, are you ready for a what's it called? Infinity healing. Don't know where you're up to.
I am.
You're up in bed. Are you having some early at night?
The first one this week. I've had late nights all week, and I'm shattered.
Bless you. So this is the one.
This is the one.
night. This is the
But
night.
it was also just about actually, I just want to get comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Get comfortable, ladies. And I know the poor Mary in Australia, she doesn't get to join us live because she's still in bed. But she loves watching the videos with us. So that's good to know that she's so anybody who's listening, just to get comfy. So we're going to do an infinity healing tonight based on our discussions. And I know that I always often think about infinity healing and wanting to do it before we start to really relax us and get us into that comfy place. But at the same time, it's really nice being able to talk and to put some meat on the bone in many ways around some of our blocks, some of our struggles. So what we're going to do is based on doing and being. Let's just see what comes up for us as we go through. So what we're going to do is invite our guides and our teams of people and our helpers, all the people that love us, to come in and to surround us with their loving and guidance and help us to tune in to ourselves more, because that's what I think it's a lot of it's about, is really noticing within our body, noticing any subtle changes, any energy dips, any breezes is another one that's really massive. And these are all signs that our teams and our guides are with us. So we're asking to connect to your higher self and my higher self, calling our guides and teams. And let's just get grounded. It doesn't matter if you're laying down, just close your eyes. And hopefully you aren't driving listening to this. So do be in a safe place, because it really is about allowing ourselves to go with the flow of what is being gifted to us through our higher self. So what we're doing is asking our higher self to basically protect us and to give us some guidance. So we're just tuning in. So in order to prepare us, then we just need to activate. So we need to be moving in from that big beaming light, white light that's right above us. And if you sat down, you'll feel, even if you laid down, just imagine that big white light above us, which is source. And the intention is to connect to the inner source, which is right the way through us, down into Mother Earth. So if you can visualize this white light that's coming down into our crown, you might feel heat, you might feel warmth, you might feel cold, you might feel tingly. So just imagine that light going into the crown. And as it's going into the crown, it's illuminating and lighting up our crown chakra and anything that's around that needs lighting up. Because that's what we're doing. We're being light beings for the world. And as we're tapping into shifting from doing to being, just know that you are at the leading edge. You are a leader in this process. It's taken me a while to work that out for myself, but we are leading in terms of really helping people to shift from doing to being. So in order to do that, we have to do that for ourselves. So we shift from our crown. And again, you might feel a sensation of warmth. And we shift into our third eye, just in between our brows, our eyebrows. And often, if you lay and meditate during the day, especially, sometimes you can get little images in your third eye. Images of pictures, people. I often get flowers and all sorts of different things, light, different colours, different movements. But that's a really important place to tune into when we're relaxing. I call it relaxing as opposed to meditating. So that's our third eye, just asking for clearing there, bringing balance to that chakra. We move down to our throat chakra, and there is some blockages that have been in there tonight that have been trying to lift as I've been talking. You can sometimes hear me coughing, that's clearing. And that can happen to you sometimes, especially when you really wanting to speak your truth or speak out about things that are going on for you or that have been in the past. Things that have stopped us again from this being and or doing and being. Again, just releasing anything, bringing some balance in there. Then we shift to our heart. And again, another place of massive activity when our hearts sometimes have been hurt because of that, again, busy doing, and not necessarily going with our heart, but going with what we have to do because it's the right thing to do, because it supports the family, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. But we are tired of that. It's kind of being able to find that place of being that gives us everything that we need with ease and flow and creates balance so that we have abundance in all areas of our lives to make true balance. So the heart, being able to lead with the heart and lead with what you feel is right for you, and to tap into that higher self to give guidance and clarity and assurance, because assurance is about being adaptable to change. So we go down into our solar plexus, which is the yellow area of our chakra system. And again, sometimes we can find it really difficult if we're struggling because we're busy doing and not being, and we're out of balance. And our digestive system can sometimes be a place of imbalance and discomfort. And lots of people have problems in this area. So we're asking for the light to be shone upon there, and in preparation for the work that we're going to do. And then we go into our sacral. And that's the orange. And again, this leads again into that digestive area as well. That place of security, again with the root chakra, the red chakra. And shine the light all the way down into those areas, and the red one especially around security and safety. And that much of our system has been based on doing from a work point of view. And that's been hooked into that root chakras, and that's a big place to offer security and safety, to know that being is an okay place to be, and that what we're doing is coming together as a collective. The collective brings strength. So you're not on your own. Anybody who's listening to this, in terms of our leadership team, you're not on your own. And it's worth remembering that. There's very few spaces that are out there where people are actually coming together and doing this work together and needing more people to do it together. It's very rare, but it's what we've all committed to do on whatever level that is, in past lives or whatever we want to believe. But we definitely have all been connected before, and so that root chakra is what we're bringing a different security. The security is a team in this space alongside everything else that we're doing. But in this space, it's a security of bringing balance to all aspects of our lives. And that will keep unfolding the more that we trust and let go of all those times that we're thinking about doing. So difficult to let go of, but our intention is to bring that balance. So we go down from our hips, down our thighs, our knees, our ankles, our feet, straight down into the core of Mother Earth, that beaming light. You can feel it, you can see it going all the way down. And as it hits the core of Mother Earth, all that energy is going to come all the way back up. It's coming all the way back up, and it's coming straight into the heart, all the way up your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart. And it's going out from your heart, just like a little diamond. You can see it in the heart space. And it's going out into the room that you're in. It's going out into the building. It's going out into the city, the town, the country. It's going out to the planets, out of the earth, out of this world, into all the planets, into infinity and beyond, all time, space and dimension. And we're locking it in with that infinity symbol, number 8. And I'm going to run that number 8. That's what we're anchoring in as a template to be able to link us from above, so below, and all the way out into infinity. And what we're doing is tapping into all those timelines of our experiences and our lives in order to be able to connect to what we're doing tonight. So I'm now activating the Infinity Healing Energy template, and in a moment I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you'd like to receive the healing associated with each of those questions, just simply say yes, as it is your yes that releases the energy in order to be able to bring that balance about. So the 3 important prompts is that would you like to receive an infinity healing to clear everything in the way of you receiving the maximum during this session? If you'd like to receive that, then simply say yes. Would you like to receive an infinity healing to clear anything in the way of you releasing the maximum during this session? Then say yes. And if there is any part of you that is interfering with, doesn't understand, is sabotaging, or is afraid of what is available for you today, would you like to receive a process to move those parts of you aside, show them what is happening from the highest possible perspective, so that all aspects of you can be on board with you receiving and releasing the maximum throughout all levels of your being? If you do, then simply say yes. So as we were talking with regards to our doing and being, and we're just asking for an infinity healing. An infinity healing to help the head, the mind of ourselves, that ego mind that always wants to lend itself to doing, always wanting to feel like or seem like you should be doing something. That little message, if you want to release that little message that's always saying that you need to be doing, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. If you want to release that doing mind, to let it know that it is okay, that by being is actually okay. If you want to release that throughout all those timelines to infinity, then say yes. So for all those times when there can be those niggly voices that say to us that we should be doing something different. Because it's not always easy to get rid of those minds, as we know. This is about layer work. This is taking the layers down, and as we expose different layers, different things are released, and then we have to deal with those that have gone in the past as well. So even though we've dealt with something, then don't be surprised sometimes if it comes back, because this stuff is interwoven into so many different layers in such a crafty little way and creative way that sometimes it's just not so easy just to get rid of forever. But we're asking for that infinity healing to be able to clear anything that's been interwoven into a tapestry that is stopping us from fully embracing that space of being. If you'd like to receive an infinity healing to release those aspects of ourselves that are so creatively woven in, then simply say yes. And for all those times when, and this is something I'm just picking up, when it's not been so easy, it's not so clear to see, that sometimes we can feel as though we can't see, we don't know. And actually, just to let yourself off and to know that it's okay, to not allow your heart to feel heavily burdened with anything that feels as though that it's stopping you from being. If you'd like to receive an infinity healing in order to be able to be truthful to you and know that it's okay when it's not, when you don't always get it right, then simply say yes. That really, in many ways, many of us, we are that innocent child who is trying the best to do the best, and to recognize that, and it's okay, because you are okay. To know that your higher self has got your back. You're on the right path, you're in the right place, and everything will be well. So if you'd like to receive an infinity healing, to have that as a default, to remember that more often, then say yes. Because sometimes it's really easy for us to think that we're on our own doing this work, or that we're on our own, full stop. But just know that you are part of a real strong crew of people. Excuse me. To know, and even as I'm speaking this, I know this to be true, because the throat again is under attack, because it's about releasing. There's blockages that have been there that sometimes, and this is my own medicine as well, is to know that there is a strong team of us that are here, that are helping each other just by being. To recognize that we are not on our own, to recognize that our team is getting stronger, and to recognize that every time that we're putting out there this sense of being, that we are sending ripples out into the world, and those ripples are connecting to other people who feel exactly the same way. So just because you can't see it in the eyes that we've got, know that it to be true. Know that as we anchor in this energy, just to know that we are sending out this healing energy in order to be able to really tap into the resonance of being, and all those hearts that are at this level of being right now. Because we all are. We are all ready, but it's just some are ready now and some are yet to come. So if you would like to receive an infinity healing, to release and to allow the universe to know that, to shine your light, for them to know that we are ready for whatever transformation is due to come upon us. If you're ready for that change, then simply say yes. And so when we're thinking about being and shifting from doing, then we also need to tap into that root chakra that is about security. And we're asking for an infinity healing to really release anything that is holding fear or scarcity. And scarcity being even that mindset of poverty, that mindset that says, I'm not enough, I can't do this, there's got to be more. All that critical mind that is so easy to tap into, because there's so many people that have said it over the years, from generation to generation. We're asking for an infinity healing to clear any blocks whatsoever around anything to do with scarcity, anything to do with I can't, anything, it's impossible. To really, well, so we're asking for an infinity healing to clear that, first of all. So if you want to receive that, say yes. And then the benefits, what we're asking for is an infinity healing to help us to really tap into that child, that innocence of child. The innocence in terms of anything is possible. Everything is possible. That it's about the inquiring mind, that inquisitive child who wanted to try everything, because that's what children do. It's being able to tap into that energy and stay in that energy. And that when we are going down a route, when somebody asks us a question and we're thinking one way, it's being able to stop in that moment and know it's okay to stop and think, oh, actually, what if? What if? So if you want an infinity healing to bring out more the inquisitive child, the more curious child, the more fun child, the more creative child, if you want to receive an infinity healing to bring out that more fun-sized view in order to be able to bring this abundance of being in with ease and flow, gently, harmoniously, peacefully, with love and happiness. If you want to bring that joyful child within you out into this space of being, then simply say yes. Because that child's been hidden for a long time for many of us as we've taken on massive responsibilities. But know that those responsibilities can be released. And slowly, slowly, they're being released in helping you to align into your truth, align into this space with ease and flow. Because if we're to attract people who are already at that being, who are already lighting the world up, and we want to attract those people who are ready to hear the messages that we've got, then it's about practicing that. And it's practicing it each day to the point where it becomes naturally part of who you are, because it is already there. It's just been buried. So if you want to receive that infinity healing, to release the true self, your true, authentic, raw self, with integrity, with grace and ease, and say yes. And we're just going to let a few minutes now to help that to integrate. So we're just going to ask for that energy to be put onto autopilot so that you will receive the maximum shift possible during the next 24 hours. We're just going to ground that activation. And sending out much love from that heart energy. We're just going to pull it in from the planets, from all timelines, just going to line it all back in and bring ourselves back into our heart center. We're going to come up from the core of Mother Earth, our feet, our ankles, our calves, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our root chakra, our sacral, our solar plexus, into our heart, up through our throat, our third eye, our crown, all the way up. And then we're going to bring that all the way back down, crown, the throat, into the heart. That's where it stays, in the heart. Bring it in. Just like to thank our guides, our spirit guides, God, Source, Universe, for this activation this evening. It was all going out there and then bringing it all back in and giving us that solid base. Help us just to ground this work that we've done this evening on being, and knowing that what we've done tonight is very much about really putting out there into the universe exactly how we want to be. Well, thank you. Remember, drink lots of water, purging symptoms, any dreams or shifts or changes in the guidance. And give us some feedback if you've got any feedback, anything transformational happen. That was a big one there, actually, but it felt like it needed to be a big one. Felt like we really did some amazing work there, actually. I could feel lots of different stuff going on, especially around the head, and then going to the heart. I could feel stuff going on there in the root chakras. So yeah, I think Catherine might have dropped to sleep, but she was all ready, right? She was all tucked up, ready for bed. I bet she's gone to sleep. Cassie, notice she joined us. Leanie, sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm very tired now. But it felt, and I don't remember now in what part of the meditation it was. But it felt like a real drop down, like when you're in a elevator and it very fast down, like boom.
Wow.
Yeah, very different. Yeah. Yeah. It felt like there was something that went really deep.
Yeah, I think probably because you see, it's all different for different people. But I think I'm noticing, I feel as though I can feel the layers are really touching onto a different level, which is great.
Yeah. And there was some other things, and now it's gone. Now I don't remember what it was. So maybe it will.
Maybe it'll appear. Maybe and sometimes maybe that's you've just cleared it. That's it. It's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless you.
That was good.
Excellent, Catherine. I can see a cat scrolling across. I don't know. I can see your hand.
I just had to. I was feeling really, really uncomfortable in my as you were talking about the digestive system and solar plexus, I was just feeling really uncomfortable there. So I was just I thought I'll lie down and stretch out. I've eased a bit there, but I could hear your voice all the time, but I don't know where I went.
Yeah, that's good. That's okay. It's funny actually because I felt the digestive system.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I said that because sometimes I feel it, but I wouldn't always say it, because I think, oh, is it mine or is it? But it's like, no, I felt it quite strong to say about digestion, and it felt so good. I'm glad. I'm hoping that that eases for you. Hopefully, some blocks shifting there.
Yeah.
And Cassia, I think you didn't come back, did you? We were looking for you.
No, I didn't listen everything, but that was probably the end. But I'm very tired. Like whatever we start these sessions, I'm thirsty and tired. So that's today it's probably more than ever.
Bless you, bless you. But there is, it's there on the recording. I am going to be doing some more. I've just not had a chance to do any this week, because I really find that I've got to be in the right space. I really have to. I think it's only right. I have to honour the infinity healing to be in the right space to do, which is why it is quite good actually doing it after we've had a bit of a discussion, because it helps me to wind down into it as well. But I'm hoping when we do the retreat that we'll be able to, even if we go in nature, depends on how the weather's going to be actually when I think about it, but there is some lovely places to go around here, but it'd be lovely to be able to do the infinity healing. If we can do it outside, it'd be wonderful, really. In fact, there is a space outside where there's some seats and stuff, so we could do it out there. But I think that'd be really good, because we are light beings lighting up the world. That's what we're doing just by being, and just know that energy when we're going out there, it's like that is us going out there and we're really affecting change and bringing in people into our circles. And I've got no doubts whatsoever that it was brilliant actually that Cassia had been to. Cassia, tell us briefly, if you're able to, in the space of time, you went to a reading of something or other. I mean, I think they're always fascinating, these. You went to in Scotland, I think you went to a Mind, Body and Spirit event, and somebody had told you something about there's a project that you're involved in. It's going to be slow or something in it, but it's going to help a lot of people. You're on mute. Oh, you're on mute, Lily.
It's less than 1 minute.
It's 1 minute, 7 seconds.
Okay, so maybe I can manage. Yes, that was probably 2 weeks ago. There was like event in Paisley, so it's just outside Glasgow. And there was a few people who are doing different reading. And I think there was the reading that I was sharing with you, it was the man who was doing reading with date of the birth, with the time of that I was born, that I'm not sure about, but that was the gambling, and then it was reading from the hand.
Right.
In my case, one of my hands it has the scar here, so it was difficult for him. But the right one is without any scar. So yes, that was very interesting. It was really interesting what he was saying.
Incredible.
Yeah, but everybody repeat the same story that cannot be fast